Hey everybody, it is Johanna. I'm here with Orbital Astrology and your weekly forecast for June 12th through June 18th, I think. 19th. Yeah. So, actually, I think it is the 18th. I don't know why I wrote it down. Okay, so next Saturday is the 18th. If you guys are here, say hi. And I know that the Resonant Essentials Psychic Fair is happening right now. So if you are there, and you're taking a break, say hi. And if you are not there, you should head on down because there's an amazing group of healers, psychics, and some vendors, I think, that are going to be sharing some of their awesome alternative health and like witchy stuff. So if you want to head on down to Resonant Essentials, it is off Eubank and Candelaria in Albuquerque in the Northeast Heights. So they are going to be there until 5 o'clock. So if you are in the Albuquerque area and you want to go and see them, definitely check it out. If you are here, if you're at home chilling, it's Sunday, then just say hi, and I will get going on the forecast here in a second. So I did miss last week's forecast, and I apologize for that. It's busy, right? It's Gemini season. So are you guys as busy, like busy little bees flying around? That's bees are associated with Gemini, just that sort of buzzy energy. And we talked a little bit about that, I think, when the moon or the sun went into Gemini. And, we are already at the very last week of Gemini season. We are officially moving into summer as of next week. So we'll talk a little bit more about that on next week's forecast and what the beginning of Cancer season says and what that signifies. Oh, hi! Yay! Everyone's just chilling at home. Yeah, it's Sunday. Everyone is relaxing here in Albuquerque. It's just been ridiculously hot and dry. We had sort of like a teaser of rain. I think maybe on the west side they got like a little bit of rain. I don't know if they did, but we didn't get any here in the East Mountains. So that was a real bummer. Yeah, we're just all doing the rain dance, praying for rain. It's just very hot. As we know, we have Mars in Aries, we have Jupiter in Aries, and we have Chiron in Aries. So we're going to talk a little bit about Chiron because it's going to get activated this week. And we're also going to talk about the exciting full moon that's going to be happening on Tuesday, the 14th. So that's going to be really interesting. This week has got a lot of really interesting magical sort of imagination and fantasy magical energy going on. So it's kind of a nice break because of the stress that we had during the eclipses. We're all in fixed signs. Fixed signs kind of dig in their heels and they don't want to change, and the eclipses really demand a change. They shake up the norm. So the fixed signs, so Scorpio, Leo, Taurus, and Aquarius, don't like to change. They know what they like, and there's a reason for that. Like you don't change. You stick to what works for you. So getting a fixed sign to change is very difficult. And so when the eclipses happen in those signs, it's really it's just a painful process of change. And so that's why it sometimes feels a little more difficult when the eclipses are happening in fixed signs. But we are in this moment of mutable signs because we are finishing out this final week of Gemini season, and we are having the full moon in Sagittarius on Tuesday. So when we have the full moon, it's always opposite whatever sign the sun is in. So Gemini, the sun is in Gemini, the moon will be in Sagittarius, and they are 180 degrees away from each other in the zodiac. So the full moon is going to be at 23 Sagittarius. So wherever you have 23 Sagittarius in your chart, in your natal chart, that's where this event is going to be happening, or that will be activating the issues or the themes of that particular house that this full moon is taking place in. So if you know your chart, definitely grab that and look it up and prepare for Tuesday. If you are planning to do some sort of ritual or some sort of event, people in my membership, they do a lunar family tracking worksheet that I provide for them. So it helps to track what story is finally coming to fruition after 9-18 months. And of course, you can always look back to the new moon that just happened 2 weeks ago in Gemini to see what story is coming to light, what petals are opening or what fruit is being ready to be picked. So that's the type of energy that happens with the full moon. one interesting thing, the reason I think this is going to be a very magical full moon and sort of like exciting is because I'm really interested in the galactic center, which is a fairly new development, and there's lots of things that are happening in astronomy as well as astrology with the galactic center, just as trying to figure out what exactly it is. And there's a big mystery about why we're all spinning around this point, why our galaxy is circling around this very incredibly magnetic black hole energy that happens to be maybe the cause of the creation of the galaxy that we live in, the Milky Way. So in astrology, we sort of think about the themes of what creation and source energy, all of the woo woo metaphysical things that people think about as being, you know, yeah, like whatever you call God, whatever you call source, whatever you call creation energy, that is technically represented by the galactic center in astrology and really in science is in astronomy as well. So what I'm trying to get to here is that this full moon is happening at 23 degrees Sagittarius and the galactic center is at 26, 27 degrees Sagittarius. So it's very close to the galactic center, which will be activating that type of energy. Also, very interesting is Neptune is coming into this alignment with the galactic center at, I think it's at 25 degrees Pisces. So it's even closer to being in alignment with the galactic center. And it's also a mutable sign. So it's interesting that we have this sort of trifecta of Gemini, Sagittarius, Pisces energy happening this week with the full moon, and it's all activating the galactic center as well. So if you are trying to create something, manifest something, find some deeper connection to what's magical and mystical in your life, also if you're searching for some sort of, last week or maybe it was the week before, we talked about Jupiter representing the search for meaning in life and creating meaning out of your life. That's a great thing to focus on for this full moon. Asking the universe to give you some sort of message, or asking the planets Neptune, Jupiter, and the moon and sun to give you some sort of ask a question and wait for an answer, or ask them to bring you something, amazing and magical and meaningful in your life. So those are things that you can look at for this full moon. Because we are looking at Sagittarius and Gemini, but Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter is currently going through Aries. However, this energy of Neptune is really present as well. So Pisces is ruled by both Neptune and Sagittarius and Jupiter. So I think that Jupiter energy is very present here as well as being part of the rulership. So yeah, it's pretty exciting. Let's see. I'm pretty excited about this full moon, and I hope that people can do something just magical and exciting for the event that's going to be happening. So, like I said, there's like this mutable vortex, this mutable merry-go-round that's happening between the sun, the moon, and Neptune this week, which happens during that full moon on Tuesday. And what is this like weird trifecta I'm calling it? Technically, it's called the T-square. So what is a T-square in astrology? It's when you have two planets that are opposite each other. So in this case, it'd be the sun and the moon / galactic center, 180 degrees away from each other at 23 degrees Neptune, or 23 degrees Pisces. Oh my gosh, 23 degrees Gemini and Sagittarius. And then we have this other point, Neptune at 25 degrees of Pisces, which will create a 90-degree angle between both the sun and the moon, or the sun and the galactic center. So that's an incredibly dynamic amount of energy trying to get you into motion or do something with that. Now, we talked a little bit about the eclipses being like pulling teeth basically because they were in fixed signs, trying to get you to change, trying to like force you to look at something, or make a decision or pivot in some way in your life. Well, what if you just decided to move towards that mutable energy instead? What if we just forget the fixed signs for a little bit? Let's take a break from that ridiculous month of May that we had, and think about what does it mean to be to be in the mutable energy, to be in something that is changing, something that is flowing, something that is allowing, opening. Those are all mutable words because we are in flux between the seasons. We're ending spring. We're finally starting summer, even though it feels like it's been summer, at least here in New Mexico, for months, basically since winter ended. It just got hot and dry immediately. But yeah, what if you were okay with being in like a transitory phase, or being in this motion towards the next thing? And it's difficult sometimes to sit with that because we don't have the answers. We're always searching for those. We always want like a concrete decision, or a concrete, why is this happening, or what is the next step, or what is the next move. And maybe if we could be okay and just forget those questions for a little bit while we're in this transitional period, and just allow things to flow, allow things to move, um, and just sort of mentally and emotionally prepare ourselves for the unknown, which I know is uncomfortable for a lot of people. But when you embrace the mutable sign energy that is Pisces, Sagittarius, Gemini, and oh my gosh, the other one. I'm totally Virgo. I'm totally blanking. So all of these mutable signs are living constantly in flux all the time, changing their lives, starting over. There was a meme that I saw a few weeks ago that said, "Y'all be afraid to like change, or y'all be afraid to start over. I'm on like my fifth life." So that's really the kind of, yeah, chaotic energy of being a mutable sign, or being in a mutable season, because nothing's permanent. You have to start over. You're like, okay, on to the next phase. Let's just keep moving. Have to let go of what I did, this year, last year, what the past few weeks, past 24 hours. It's happened. It's done. There's no point in holding on to it, because now we're moving forward. It's a very forward thinking, releasing, being in that mid phase between both of those type energy. So embrace the chaos. I mean, that's all I can really say, is like, when you were in that mutable energy, is really just being okay with it, just letting it, allowing it to move you in the next phase of your life. Um, yeah, before you know it, we're going to be in Cancer season, which is an incredible lightning strike in the middle of the year to get us starting and initiating a very what's going to be a very dramatic summer, as we can see in the future, as the bigger cycles are going to start playing out again. So we'll talk about that next week when we move into Cancer season. But we have to change. We have to evolve. We have to move forward. So being okay with that, that's what, if we can release some of that. I mean, if there's something you want to do during this full moon ritual next week where you are wanting to be okay with that, then ask the universe for help and support in being okay with being in flux, being in transition. So yeah, we are 13 minutes in. So I was gonna do a short one because I have lots of stuff to do still today, being in Gemini season, and I live with two Geminis. So let's jump into next week specifically. So let's see. Mercury is also going to be finally moving back into Gemini after its long retrograde through very beginning of Gemini, but mostly through Taurus of the last 3 weeks. So so Mercury is back to where it wants to be. It's back in its favorite sign of Gemini. Okay, sorry, one of its favorite signs. Sorry, all you Virgos out there who are like, that's my planet. So we're moving into Gemini. Mercury's moving back into Gemini. So yes, things are going to be quickening up again. Like I said, after the end of the retrograde, where things were feeling like, oh my God, the struggle. Now things are going to be moving much more smoothly and much faster now that Mercury is back into sign of Gemini on Monday the 13th. Tuesday the 14th is the full moon, which is going to be happening at 23 degrees Sagittarius at 5:51 a.m. In Mountain Time. So adjust for your time zone. And yes, make sure, if you are trying to manifest something, if you are into the law of attraction or doing all of those sort of like, I think it, I want it, I allow it, I accept it, that's a great, great day to do all of that. Use that full moon energy and really write down all the things that you want in your life, all the magical, mystical things that you are trying to attract. That's a great day to do that. Now Wednesdays, it gets a little more interesting after you've done a lot of like this desire and putting that into the universe. I mean, the full moon is not necessarily as manifesty as or as intention-y as the new moon, but it is much more tangible and like you can see it's much more visible as to what you had asked for 2 weeks ago or 9 months ago or 18 months ago. You can see what's coming out of that instead of like wishing and hoping. Now you're going to be able to see exactly what is coming to you. So that's a great day. Definitely do some magical rituals there. If you are interested in doing the lunar families where you look back at your life at specific times and see what story is coming to life, you're definitely wanting to join the Orbit membership, which is where I provide all of these worksheets for my members to look back through their own lives and help them track the astrology that way. So I can drop my link for that in the comments. But let's get back to Wednesday the 15th, which is Chiron being activated. Now Chiron is in Aries right now. It's been there for a very long time. But who just went into Aries to sort of activate it? Mars, right? So Mars has gone into Aries, making it very strong. We obviously saw what was happening, last in the past month about Mars moving into Aries. People getting angry. A lot of protests are happening. We saw a lot of violence coming into our society with the shooting. The shootings, really. I mean, they happen like every day now. So that Mars has really been, doing what Mars does, which is creating anger and aggression. Yay! Hey, I'm so excited that you are here. Awesome. So yeah, we're talking about Mars and how Mars is now going to be activating Chiron. So before everyone freaks out and thinks that there's some awful thing going to happen, I mean, we have to sort of take that into consideration as long as Mars is in Aries, that it's going to be much more, it's going to be a stronger energy. So whatever it's trying to do, it's going to be trying to do it in a much more vigorous and fast and aggressive way. So in this aspect, when it's coming up it's going to be conjuncting Chiron on Wednesday the 15th at about 8 o'clock in the morning, Mountain Time, at 15 degrees Aries. So what is Chiron? Chiron is a pretty new planet in astrology. It's considered to be the wounded healer. So wherever you have 15 degrees Aries in your chart, I want you to look and see what is being activated for you as far as painful things, painful experiences, or things that you're working through that need to be healed. Now, this can be a physical healing. This can be emotional, mental, psychological. It can show up in many different ways. So what I like to think about is how do we work with pain in order to make it not a long-term suffering? Because pain is inevitable in life. Pain is going to happen, but the suffering is the optional. I mean, we obviously will feel negative things, but we don't have to prolong it. We don't have to make it worse. And so that sort of energy of Mars coming into contact with Chiron may give us some sort of boost or an oomph to aggressively attack that or aggressively tackle that pain that we would like to heal in some aspect. Now, I don't want, Mars is very in your face, so it's probably not going to be something subtle that is going to be activated for you, but it is a very great opportunity to take that and, become motivated to fix it or motivated to heal it. So it's a great week to get healing of some type. I mean, we have a Reiki practitioner at Resonant Essentials, Amber. You should check her out. She does yeah, it really, really wonderful week to have some sort of either metaphysical healing or physical healing, emotional, spiritual, whatever, go to a therapist, meet with an astrologer, whoever you have in your life that is facilitating some sort of healing. I mean, this can be yourself as well. The week to heal. Yes, this is a really, really wonderful. And this is why I'm excited. This could be difficult. I mean, healing never is easy, but I mean, maybe it's easy for some people. With Mars and Chiron and Aries, it may be something like much more potent, like not such a slow, easy healing. It may be much more, yeah. Enough Mars keywords. I mean, you guys get the picture, right? It's Mars. It's going to be, yeah. They're there to present to you what you need to do. But I'm very happy that this week is so much Neptune and so much magical, mystical, galactic center energy that it can be a great facilitator for healing this week. Yeah, so if you are looking for any sort of spiritual guidance or healing, this is a great week to do that, especially Thursday, because after we have this activation of Chiron, so healing the wounds, addressing all of that on Monday or addressing all of that on Wednesday, Thursday is going to be a really interesting day of complex energies, having the sun in a trine aspect to Saturn, because Saturn's retrograde. It went retrograde right after Mercury went out of retrograde. So we're having to relook at a lot of structures in our life, having to look at the rules, systems that are working for us. But with the sun coming into a very positive aspect, that's going to be, how is the structure of our life, all the things that we're re-looking at or renegotiating or re-understanding, how is that supporting our own vitality and our own ways that we're making for ourselves in our life? Where do we want to go? And how is that feeding our soul? So, I mean, structure isn't all bad, rules aren't all bad. These things can help and support us to live better lives. So that's going to be a very interesting energy coming into on Thursday. It's going to bring a little bit more grounding, I think, because we also have the nodes in Taurus, and then Venus is coming into conjunct the nodes on Thursday as well. So that's going to be a great sort of grounding energy. Think about what healing needs to happen, how we can make that something physical, and what is the connection for our spirituality as well. The sun is going to square Neptune on the 16th, so there's multiple big alignments happening on Thursday the 16th. So that's a big day. So if you set in the beginning of the week, when you may have some revelations or some big aha moments, especially with that full moon, and then the next day with Chiron being activated, Thursday may be a day where you're like, I can take on the world. I can do what I want to do. And, you're going to find the means to doing that and the inspiration to do that. So Thursday could be a very intense day. It's also going to be reactivating the eclipse energy, but it's going to be reactivating it in a supportive way because of Venus being there to help. And Venus always wants to connect and make things happier and more peaceful, versus Mars, which is a war planet. So Thursday is going to be a really dynamic day. Definitely take that that energy and move forward with it. And then let's see, Friday, a lot more. The sun's going to be exactly opposed the galactic center. So this whole week, the sun is kind of triggering the galactic center, and it's a really amazing week for all of that. Like law of attraction stuff. So definitely look into that if you are into the law of attraction and all that. If you aren't, no worries. Saturday, we are going to have a little sextile with, once again, Pisces, Neptune in Pisces, and then Venus in, so Venus in Taurus is going to be there, creating this like opportunity to really feel that inspiration or that connection to dreams, to making your dreams come true. Also meditation, all of these sort of things that help you center and ground your sort of woo-woo energy and into real life. So that's really big. We also have a Venus squaring Saturn on the 18th. So Saturday is going to be a good day for creating supportive environments towards building your dream, and also relooking at the structure of relationships, because that Venus square can bring that up as well. It's also going to be the day of the Albuquerque Astrology Group meeting here in Albuquerque. So if you would like to come by, I will be doing a special presentation on the evolution of the Albuquerque Astrology Group, which did not start with me. It was actually a meetup group many, many years ago. And I am doing an interview with the original members, or one of the original creators of the meetup group, and gathering all the information. And then I'm looking at all the different charts of all the different variations of the group up until the modern one that we are currently in now, and doing a special presentation. So if you are really interested in looking at astrology charts and analyzing them for specific details, then this is I'm going to have a PowerPoint presentation. So please come on by. Albuquerque Astrology Group meets every third Saturday of the month at Resonant Essentials in Albuquerque in the Northeast Heights, and it is a free to check out group. So if you want to come for the first meeting and see if you like it, then that's great. But we do have a yearly membership if you decide to join us. And yeah, it's just a really fun, awesome group of people who are interested in astrology and like creating supportive environment here in Albuquerque. So I hope you all have a wonderful week. And yeah, you can definitely check out more information about the Albuquerque Astrology Group on meetup.com. Just search Albuquerque Astrology Group, or you can look at the Facebook group, the Resonant Essentials Facebook group. We also have a Facebook group on just for the Albuquerque Astrology Group. So you can search that on Facebook as well. Also, we are on Instagram, so you can look us up there. And all the information will be posted as to the time and when and all of that stuff. So I hope you all have a wonderful week. And yeah, use this full moon energy to really make those dreams come true. Ask the universe for whatever you want. And hopefully that connection to the Galactic Center. Of course, if you would like to hula hoop, you can use that type of energy to connect with the Galactic Center as well, which is what I like to do. So I hope you have a wonderful week and have a great full moon and the last week of Gemini season. And we will see you next week. Bye.